Storyline like an open door. In every way I could have seen it going there. Will it end this way? I frame the night like it's hopeless love. Realize we could have have it all, but now will it end this way? Our dream was be wiped out. The silence and muted after all. Our dream won't be flying out, 'cause we won't let it bring us down. I think I'm sinking in my skin. Feels like I'm drowning in. This starts again. I think I'm sinking in my skin, and I'm drowning in my world within. Oh, I think I am find the silver lining. It all comes back to life. Will we let it all go to waste? Our dream won't be flying out, 'cause we won't let it bring us down. I think I'm sinking in my skin. Feels like I'm drowning in. This starts again. I think I'm sinking in my skin, and I'm drowning in my world within. Oh, I think I am find the silver lining. It all comes back to life. Will we let it all go to waste? We won't lose it all. We won't lose it all. Oh, we won't lose it all.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How are we doing? We doing good? Lovely to see everyone in the chat. It's July 26th, last Wednesday of the month, which means it is a Q&A, which doesn't necessarily mean it has to be just question and answers. It's just a way of saying no schedule, nothing planned. We're just going to hang out and chill. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And something that I've thought about just the last few days when leading up to this episode was that normally I still have all the housekeeping and, you know, the different sort of sections like Vitamin G and Dyer Discoveries, all that sort of stuff. Talking about what live streams I've got coming up at the weekend. I mean, I might do a bit of that here and there. But I thought, actually, no, I think for these shows, the last Wednesdays of the month, they really should be stripped back completely. So they do feel different. It doesn't just feel like a regular episode that is kind of just a discussion, which they normally are anyway. So yeah, just to be completely transparent about it, there's no puzzle, unfortunately. There's nothing planned. We're just going to hang out, and it goes very well because at the moment, just, you know, putting it out there, I am very wiped out at the moment. I had quite a busy week last week, and we all have busy weeks and stuff. And my body has just not been like, I don't know. It's not been responsive, and that's fine. We all have moments like that, and it's good to listen to our bodies when we have those down times. But I just want to say that if anyone does have a question, this is how it works. It's Q&A day, so just put a Q. I mean, you can ask questions and that regularly, like if you're just having discussions with people in the chat. But if you put a Q at the beginning, it just notifies to me it's something that you want me to bring up on screen and discuss with the room. So if you do that, I can then save it in my little dashboard here. But yeah, it's raining a lot outside at the moment, which I welcome. We definitely need a bit more rain. The plants outside my home are definitely struggling. And it's nice that the temperature is dropping down a bit. But I don't know about you. I find that when the temperature changes, whether it's got really hot or a lot colder, I think that just messes up your body. I find that I struggle to sleep, and I think that can be to do with changing in air pressure and things like that. But I have no scientific backing to that claim. I'm just putting it out there, and I'm curious to know if anyone else feels the same. Sorry to hear that, Kira, who's had a terrible week. But a relaxed stream sounds awesome. Yeah, relaxed streams are quite good. It's teeming down outside here. Teeming. Was that? I'm assuming that is a word. Teeming is not a word that I'm familiar with. I'm having a look. See, I love learning new stuff. To be full of or swarming with. That's cool. I like that word. Teeming. How have I not heard of that? That's the thing. There's so many words in the English language. And teaming I probably had heard of before, but I wasn't that familiar with it. But yeah, last week I was at an offsite with work, which was amazing. It was so good. I work in a remote first company, which means I spend every day with a lot of colleagues, but it's through video calls and Slack channels. You feel like you're connected, and you are, but meeting up with everyone is really, really good. But the trouble with it was we had a lot of breaks at the offsite, like a lot of breaks between sessions. But they weren't technically... Well, they were breaks, but what you did was you took the opportunity to then catch up with people you've not seen in person for a while, or even make an effort to introduce yourself to people that you've never spoken to in person before. And that constant gear change of one conversation to the next... that uses a lot of energy. I mean, I often talk about on this on this channel about the idea that, and I studied a lot about it when I did psychology, which is the mental energy we use to pay attention to things. We often don't appreciate how much energy we use for that. Once upon a time, we would pay attention when doing tasks, but then for the rest of it, we would be among nature. We'd be mindful of the moment and taking it for what it is. Whereas now it's always pay attention to one screen, now had a notification, switching attention to another. And it's not just the energy of paying attention to things, it's the energy of switching attention, changing context. You're looking at one screen, you get a notification, you're now disengaging with this, you're now engaging with something else. You see a notification about maybe a text message that's asking you to recall on, some information about something completely different. You're now having to think about that. So the changes in context can be quite an energy drain. And so naturally, when you're hanging out with people and you're constantly changing conversations, it can take a lot. And don't worry, Sean. Sean was apologising for misspelling my name. I've saved that question. I'm saving all the cues as they're coming up. But yeah, I work with people that have my name on screen in front of them, and they keep calling me Miles. Genuinely, I'm not bothered, but I also am like, once if it's the odd time, but when it's like constantly there and I'm signing off with my name, it's just like it might be autocorrect, but I don't take it personally. I guess I will talk a bit about Dyer Discoveries of some kind. Oh no, I've just noticed one of my new speakers has got a little... Is that a chip? God, it has got a little chip on it already. Oh well. So I've got some little speakers on my desk, and this is actually quite a big deal, or a small deal, should I say, because if I grab this from behind. These were the speakers I was using, which was from my best friend. He gave me these. Absolutely gigantic speakers. Now, the box that the 2 speakers came in is pretty much the size of one of the... let me just... and I had to have foam pads underneath them to stop with the vibrations. Which collect a lot of dust and that. So something I've been meaning to do for a while is sort of, I have this lovely space, this desk space, but these 2 massive speakers are in the corner. And now I've swapped them for these nice smaller ones. And I got these cute little stands that come with them as well. And it means that they now rest like that. I mean, a lot of you are probably like, yeah, Myles, I know how speakers work. But for me, it's the cute things in life. I like that. And they sort of face up towards. And all the people that are coming in now saying, am I late? Am I late? Look, you join when you join. And I'm just grateful to have you here. And I know there are a lot of people here who tune in, who, maybe not have YouTube accounts. I know some of my friends, they say they listen to this show on replay afterwards. I'll not shout anyone in particular, except my buddy Alex. He does it a lot on his long journeys, so I always appreciate it. And it's one of the reasons I make the intro a lot shorter now, because I think one song's good. One song is a good intro, and then we get into it. And as you would have seen on my Let's Plays now, they kick off, not with a stream starting soon. It hits you in the face with a trailer for the game that we're about to play. So that can be good. But yeah, so I got these speakers. I set them up this evening. So actually, this place is a mess, but now I've got a lot more space to clean up, which I'm kind of. What's this? Oh, everyone's talking about being late. Oh, okay. Some people are not happy about others being late. Outrageous. Paul says sometimes I just smash the thumbs up button, or thumbs up and lurk. You also sometimes gift a lot of memberships, which is incredibly grateful. Look, and it just hanging out is cool. This is what we're here to do, and you're in control of the narrative today, everyone. So it is Q&A day. I will take this down in a minute. But yeah, if you have any questions for me or just topics, you could just put a Q and say barbecues, or you could ask my opinion on particular things. And it's not just about my opinion, it's about like instigating a conversation. It might be a question about doing a particular topic on a future episode. The other thing I'll talk about while I wait for your questions to come in is this. I bought myself, and by the way, if you do ask a question, put a Q at the beginning. I will save them though as I see them. Legendary 3D Gamer says, hello, human being. I'm new. Any theme? Any theme, within reason, as long as it's respectful. And, but, it can be controversial. And, you can ask, and then whether I answer it. Barbie Q&A. So I actually, okay, what is everyone's, bedtime arrangements like with pillows? How many pillows do you have in your bed? This probably sounds really random, but I have 2 pillows. I mean, I have 4 pillows, 2 stacks of 2. I only sleep on one side of the bed, but I have 4 pillows. Chaos, you have 4 pillows, right? Okay. Let me hide this now. 2, okay, but I don't sleep on 4 pillows. I sleep on 2. Okay, so yeah. Okay, one sturdy, one soft, Mojo says. Okay. Paul says that's personal, and I totally respect that. Kelly Timecat says 2 when staying at my folks. They're posher than me. I love this. 4, but I only use 1. I love this. Everyone has loads of pillows they don't need. I have so many cushions on my couch downstairs, and you sit down and you just move them out of the way. 2 pillows, big one for leaning against the wall, and a nice neck pillow. That's a good one to hug, and the other for a head. Having a pillow to hug can be nice. Could do with one though. Okay, that's cool. And how does everyone feel about their pillow arrangements? Again, might be personal. And what I mean by that is, are you ever truly comfortable? And by the way, this sounds like I'm about to do a commercial, and I will just say I don't do paid sponsors or anything on this. I just talk about well-being products when I get them and I like them. This got actually, I got it as an Instagram ad, and one for the head, one between my knees. There we go, one between the knees. I'm glad you said this. So there was something I saw called the Groove pillow, and this is it, right? So it comes rolled up, and you have to leave it like that. You have to leave it flat on the ground for, like, they say 2 to 3 days. And I received it through the post the day I went on the work offsite. I got back, then unboxed it, and it said 2 to 3 days. It was like, oh, I should have taken it out before I left. But basically, as you can see from the shape, and it's got the groove. And the way it works is, if it encourages you to sleep on your back, and if you sleep on your back, your head goes there in the groove. So it's just there. It's really, really nice. But I don't do that. If you sleep on your side, which is what I do a lot at the moment, you so I'm doing that so you can see it. You sleep sort of on the corner bit, and it also means it's good for putting your arm, because I don't know about you, I get it not too often, but when you wake up with a dead arm, I've had it where I've literally woken up, can't feel my arm, and I don't know if anyone's had it. I just take my arm and I start slamming it on the bed, like, come on, I want to feel you again. I don't want to have to cut my arm off. Sometimes it's so numb, it's kind of scary. Yeah, look, the pillow, I've used it for like three nights now. The fact I'm wiped out is nothing to do with my sleep, because I'm going to bed early, I'm sleeping a lot. It's just a long-term thing. But so far, so good. And I'm now, other 2 pillows. I've got to put you on the other 2 now, so there's 4. So I'm probably going to get rid of them. But you put this in a pillowcase. I just took it out the pillowcase to sort of show you how it comes. But this in itself is a pillowcase. I haven't actually unzipped it, so I haven't actually looked at. So that is what's underneath. It's just, yeah. So this is an actual pillowcase. But so one of you said you put between your knees. It's called getting old, Myles. Yeah, you're right, Karina. You're right, Karina. Looper says, I only put my arm under the pillow when I'm on my right side. I have no idea why. Yeah, I feel weird. So I sleep on my left side normally, and it's usually because I'm then turned away from my phone, because I use one of those sleep cycle apps that I've used for about, I think I'm going to say 10 years now. Yeah, I play rain music and things like that. Oh my goodness, the concerns of like losing feeling in your arms. But putting a pillow between your leg. So if you sleep on your side, they have a small one. Yeah, it's called the Groove Pillow X. And what you do is, if I'm sleeping on my left side, whatever leg is on top, you put it through there, and it means you do that. This is so hard to do, and that. But you do actually there on the inside of your just above your knee, and I've not woken up in any awkward positions. Like, I've always wondered, like, is it going to be around my neck when I wake up and stuff like that? I actually have a really good night's sleep. It's been really, really good for me. So I'm actually really enjoying it. And I think for both of them in the sale, I'm tempted to say it was like I spent maybe £50 or something like that. So, yeah, it was really, really good. Get them legs up. Yeah, I mean, I need to get a bit more flexible. Legendary 3D Gamer says, every night I'm supposed to be going to bed at 10, but since my mum isn't home, I'm going to bed whenever I want tonight. My brother doesn't care what I do. It's so... I find that the cycle I always get caught in, and especially when I used to be more of a night owl, is it's easier... If you go to bed later than you normally do, it's doable, and then when you go to sleep, you eventually sleep. it's very hard to go the other way. It's harder to go to sleep earlier than you would normally would because you're not ready for bed yet. So it's very hard to get out of the cycle. But yeah, what you do is you stay up, a bit later one night, and then it means it's going to be harder to go back at a regular time the next night. I mean, usually I go to bed about 11 o'clock with the plan to be like asleep by midnight, but sometimes my app shows me like sometimes I'm not in bed, I'm not sleeping till 1 a.m. And like avoiding doom scrolling and all that sort of stuff, like just staying, just when you're scrolling, I don't do it a lot these days, but the times I do it, I get so annoying. And routine is absolutely key, and a broken cycle is torture, absolutely. This episode could have been called Pillow Talk, but anyway, that's something that I invested in, and so far I'm getting on with it great. And also, this sounds really specific for Pillow Talk, but it's like when you've got a pillow, it's not like unless it's a memory foam or something like. By the way, this is not memory foam. This is not going to take shape, and I prefer that. Every time you want to use it, you want to know it's exactly the shape it's been before. But a regular pillow, it's just like you're folding it and like trying to fluff it in the right way. This, every time I use it, I'm like, I know where my head goes, and I'm comfortable. So it's been really, really good for that. That's why it's really hard to travel from east to west. Yeah, I guess so. Although for me, I always think from west to east when I come back from the States, because flights back from the US. Oh, excuse me. From the US, from west to east is always overnight, so you basically lose the evening. You fly 10 o'clock at night. I don't know what time you get back, at 7 a.m. or something like that, and you get like a few hours sleep. So then they say what you need to do is stay awake. Don't go to bed when you get home. Stay awake for the whole day. What time do I wake up? And I will go to the other questions. This is just a quick, easy one to answer while we're on this topic. I normally wake up between... It depends. If I'm at 8 a.m. normally, but sometimes I wake up at 10 to 9. And I've just got to get into this room from next door. I think there's only been one time since being at this job in the last 15 months where I woke up, got my laptop, went back to my bed and lied in there and jumped on a call. Just didn't go on camera, went on voice. And actually, I think 2 other colleagues did the same. I think it must have been like a work party the night before or something. And I sort of said, "Oh, sorry, I'm not going on camera. I'm still in bed." And then I heard everyone else go, "Yes, same." It was some really awesome solidarity. Yeah, I've used regular pillows from between the knees. I mean, I'll get the link for it. But as I said, I'm not sponsored by these people. I just kind of always just like bigging up stuff that's worked for me. So here we go. The original Groove pillow. So they actually do have a new one. So this is the one I got. Here you go. And here we go. Here's the image there. I love this because actually I'm like, I totally get it. I mean, the whole red line thing I'm kind of get as well, like bad for posture. I do find that interesting, but I'm also like, is that actually because the pillow, or is it? But yeah, I guess it is because it's more about supporting the neck. And it's how it curves your head. Your head curves here. So, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, I think I got the free gift, the neck pain relief e-course. Should try that out. Yeah, no, I'm alright with that. But then the other products they've got is, yeah, this is the one. This is what I got, and there you go, like that. So it just goes above the knees there, and yeah, worked for me fine. Does mean if someone breaks into my house and I have to react quickly, I'm just going to fall over. I have been... and then if you sleep on your back, you do it on one. I guess they say you got to buy 2. And then what was the other one? There's 2 Groove pillows. This is the original. But what about Shopple? They got like the original, and then they've got like pillowcases, silk sleep scrunchie. Wow, all that sort of stuff. They even have these sleep mask. Groove pillow travel bag. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout, because I was actually thinking about that. I feel like if you got the logo on it, though, they should be giving it for free. Diffusers, pillow spray. Who uses pillow spray? I saw that in a hotel once, and I thought, that just doesn't sound right. But you got the... Oh, wait. Here we go. The Groove Pillow 2.0. Adjust the... I don't understand what the difference is, though. Oh, it's memory foam. So, yeah, I wouldn't get this. Nah, I wouldn't get the memory foam. Oh, you can... Oh, I see. You just adjust... You just adjust the height. Interesting. Look, I don't want this to be a whole episode about pillows. Or this episode should have just been called Pillow Talk. I mean, that would have been a good episode. It probably got a lot of clicks and stuff like that. What is everyone's sleeping routines? But anyway, also, I just want to say, if you haven't already, do join our Discord, Empathy Arcade. Link is in the description. I've not been on Discord much this week at all. Although one thing I did change was that now when I schedule a live, it doesn't ping everyone on Discord, because I know when I was doing 6 live streams at a weekend, it got very annoying. So I apologise for that. But also, I've not been on much just because every evening I've like finished work, made myself some food, maybe played a couple of rounds of a game. Normally it's across the valley where it's nice and chilled. Yeah, thank you, Kiro, Callie. Got a membership account. Lots of donations yesterday for membership gifts. So great. Yeah, no, I'm busy, but you know, again, like whenever I make these things, and I appreciate the kind words. Like I don't do it because I'm beating myself up. I just like to be transparent, but I've been really struggling at the moment, and I thought I'd be feeling better already, and I'm getting there. And actually, on Friday, my work has a global day of rest, which I really appreciate. Which is where the office just shuts down. So I'm going to get the full Friday off, which will be great. So I'll be using that for rest. But yeah, let's have a look here. Just having a look. Thank you, Karina, for putting the link up in the chat for anyone that's not joined it. And if anyone's not familiar with Discord and wants to learn about it, you know, do let us know. I'm going to go to some other questions in just a moment. Going to have a quick swig of water. But I do again want to say thanks everyone for just hanging out, because this is cool. And just, I will do a bit of housekeeping here. For Myles Dyer Live every Wednesday, we have it focused on a topic, a specific topic. If you have ideas for topics, go to our Discord, the Myles Dyer Live channel, and just post them there. Something I'm definitely keen on doing is approaching a lot of charities and organisations to come on and talk about topics. For example, getting someone who actually, like a nurse who works at a blood bank, and talking about giving blood. Because I've done it once, and it's not something you should do just once. It should be a regular thing. And so that's definitely something, you know, that's an example of something to talk about. And just get an education on different topics and that. I think it could be really, really good. Right. I've got 6 questions here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I know there are going to be people listening to this on replay driving in their car now, and they'll be yawning because I do. I've never actually heard a radio host start yawning all of a sudden. So anyway, Sean on my phone says, "Hi Myles, if you could see one PSVR 1 game ported to PSVR 2 that isn't already, which would you pick?" So for those that aren't gamers, PlayStation VR 2 is the VR headset that I currently use. PlayStation had a PSVR 1, which is the original, but that all changed in February of this year. Yeah, there are still some games that haven't come over yet. I mean, Robinson the Journey is a beautiful game where you're in basically you come to Earth and it's like prehistoric Earth, so there are dinosaurs and you have a pet little T-Rex that follows you around and helps you with stuff, which is super cute. But it was a beautiful to look at game, and it's a game I'd definitely love to see come across. So yeah, that would be my answer there. Joshua Taylor says, how do you do with spicy foods? Now, I don't know about you, everyone. I find that there are different types of spice. I find there are different people struggle with different types of spice. So it's like I could have a Thai red curry, and it's just like it's that sort of like you feel it in your breath, the spice, like you feel like you're breathing fire. I struggle with that. Whereas like curries and things, it kicks my ass, but I love it. Yeah, I mean, and how is everyone with hot food? Some people sweat a lot. I don't. My nose runs. Like I need to have a lot of tissues on me if I'm having a curry, because I'm just like constantly my nose is running. But it's really good if you're feeling really unwell. Having a hot curry, hot spicy food, it just cleans you out. It feels like really, really, really good. Too much spice, pointless for me. Can't taste food, actually. Well, this is the thing, is like the reason you become like acclimatized to spicy and spicier food, I believe, is just because you're burning your taste buds. I know a few people that can do just ridiculously hot food, but for me, the test always was like burritos, Chipotle. I would always have their hottest, and it had a bit of a kick to it. And then a place opened up in Reading, where I'm from, called Mission Burrito. And they have mild, medium, and hot. And I remember having their medium, and I struggled. Whereas one of the guitarists in my band, he could have the hottest, and then he'd have to add loads of extra sauce on it. I can now do the hottest, but it's still, tough. Throw some cheese on to absorb the heat. Absolutely. Well, I do cream cheese. Sour cream and cheese. Yeah. You had the bomb, Ren. Wow. Does everyone know what the bomb is? So, Hot Ones is a great show. I highly recommend checking out if you haven't already. One of the best interviewers. What's his name? Sean. I can't think of his last name. But basically, you have hot wings. I'm tempted to say there are 10, or is it 8, or is it? I don't know. But they have hot wings, and they go up the Scoville rating, so they get hotter and hotter. And basically, it's a great moment because you're seeing people in vulnerability dealing with hot food, and so it just changes the dynamic of interviews, and people are really, really candid. But that bomb is not the hottest. It's like 2 or 3 from the top, but it is, yeah, hurts. Ren says, yeah. Well, wouldn't surprise me because I did want to do a Hot Ones thing. Here it is. This is it. That bomb. I mean, look at that. It's not the hottest, but it is the one that everyone's just like, it tastes like battery acid. Dab bomb. It's just disgusting. I mean, look at that as a logo. $17.99. Who would ruin their pizza? Let's see, from Hot Ones. So is this actually brand? Brand is from Da Bomb. I mean, yeah, Hot Ones must have done them good. Da Bomb Ground Zero and Beyond Insanity. Beyond Insanity is the one they use on Hot Ones. Yeah, okay, so there's 2. Yeah, Sean Evans, that's it. Thank you, everyone. So, yeah. Yeah, it'd be crazy. Your local Chinese always gives you free spice bags, as well as those are great when you're sick. So what are spice bags? Is it just like herbs, or well, it'd be spices, but Is it just like seasoning? This is amazing. This is amazing. What is the hottest food you've ever had, people? Can you remember like something that absolutely blew your mind? I remember when I went to Texas to see a friend, my friend Brent, and we went to this restaurant and they had all these challenges and they had this like, it was, again, it's all nuclear weapons as the logos and that. And Serial Killer says, there's a nice hoodie you got there, Myles. This hoodie I wear a lot at the moment just because it's new. When you get a new hoodie, they're so comfy. And for me, because I'm feeling a bit down and stuff like that, it's just like, it's nice and cozy. But yeah, it is a nice hoodie. I love the colour. It goes really good. It's like Barbie season, isn't it? But yeah, went to this restaurant and I think it was sliders, lots of small burgers. Or was it just one big burger? I can't remember what he ordered. But I said, oh, can I try it? So I got a fry. And I dipped it in. And as I put it in my mouth, I was so careful that I basically slid it in my mouth and it went down the side here. And it felt like an injection, just like going into my gums. Jesus Christ. But then back then, I wasn't really hugely into spicy food. So I'm curious to know how it would be now. Vindaloo is the curry that everyone always talks about over here. I've never had it at a restaurant, but I did have it at a supermarket and cooked it myself. And it was fine. It wasn't actually that bad, but it just didn't really have a lot of flavour, which I know is like the point of Vindaloo. It's just about heat. But my local curry house, actually, you can ask for stuff to be hotter, but if you do, they just like this. They just add loads of green chilies in it, and it's just so hot. Yeah. My cousin told me a story once that he at least until fast travel sends you some new gear. I actually use my fast travel hoodies out there. It all depends on if I want a zip up hoodie or not. Fast travel have done very well. Them and End Dreams. I mean, to be honest, like hoodies are just great. But yeah, my cousin told me when he was living with his friend, he had one of these, like, you know, you buy them at these little market stalls in town, and it had like a skull on it. That really says about it, the hot sauce. And he says when you're like doing pasta or anything, you put just one drop, and mix it in, and that'll be enough. And he was at home one day. His mate he was living with comes back completely wasted with some chips, and he goes into the kitchen and he's looking for some sauce, and obviously my cousin doesn't know what he's doing, and he gets the hot sauce and he starts putting it all over the chips. And my cousin says when he started eating the chips, he says he's never heard a scream that bad. He says it was so bad. I mean, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Like, you know, we always take a joke about, like, oh, if it hurts in the mouth, it's going to hurt when it comes out the other end. I always worry about what it's doing to the inside of your body, like your stomach and that. Like, I mean, it deals with acid and stuff. Like, your stomach is pretty well built, but yeah, not good. Not good at all. Yeah, so there's that. Just having a look at a few. Oh, no, here's another food question from Legendary 3D Gamer. What's your favourite food? Mine is cookies, curry. Oh, we're going for... Is this all at once? Is this like your favourite meal? Cookies, curry, cheesecake, McDonald's, prawn panini sandwich, hoisin duck sandwich, the hoisin duck wraps, and Sainsbury's does a vegan hoisin duck wrap, which tastes... I was surprised they nailed it. But the hoisin duck sandwich meal deal, I know. Well, it's done as a wrap, isn't it? It's super good. Fried chicken, brownies, Subway, Coca-Cola, and Oasis. Oasis I used to drink, actually. I haven't had it in a very long time. But do you know what? Is it the same in America and elsewhere in the world? But Subway cookies are just S tier. S tier. Their cookies, I'm always like, I don't know how they make them. I don't know if they're legal, but Subway cookies are so good. If you could invent a hot sauce, what would you call it? I don't know. I'd ask ChatGPT. It'd have to be something to do with Dyer, right? Dyer consequences or something like that. Dyer something. Yeah, sprinkle a little crack in them. A bit of cocaine. That's what the white powder is. And I do joke, by the way. I don't want to be macadamia nut and white chocolate. I spoke about this ages ago. There was an ice cream that was done at Aldi, which was a vegan one, and it blew my mind. It was it this one? This was it. I had this. This was amazing. Dairy-free, vegan, okay? Salted caramel, swirled with salted caramel sauce, macadamia nuts, and honeycomb. And this was like super cheap. It's not going to say it here, is it? It was like £2.50 or something. When you know, like Ben and Jerry's is really good and they do their own vegan stuff now. But this, I can zoom in. I mean, yeah, vegan. Honestly, so I get so happy. Oh no, you're allergic to caramel. What is it about caramel that you're allergic to? Because what is caramel made of? Because I was going to say it's sugar. So it's combining sugar and a liquid. Real caramel. Oh, is it butter and stuff like that? Heavy cream, water, corn syrup. It's the caramel colouring. Okay, interesting. There we go. I love learning all this sort of stuff. You ate a litre of ice cream once. My God. Am I vegan? No, and I'm not even vegetarian. But a lot of what's in my fridge is vegan. But I do have real cheese. But I do sometimes have vegan cheese. So I do mix it up. And dairy-free chocolate ice cream from Iceland store is amazing. That's cool. Right. But the question was, what's my favourite food? I mean, I always feel like mine's a boring answer, but I do have a real reason for it, and it's pizza. And the reason why is, firstly, I have pizza once a week, if that, at least that. But it's because you can put anything on it, you can mix it up. It's a food that's great for sharing. It's all sliced up. And yeah, you can just mix it up and have whatever you want. Like, I always go half and half so I can mix stuff up. So I always feel like, yeah, pizza's an easy one, and it's a circle, which is the shape of unity and wholeness, isn't it? So have you ever been to a garlic restaurant where all the food has garlic in it? No, but I did. I do have a friend. I say did. I haven't spoken to him in a long time. I stopped hearing from them. But I did have a friend that her allergies were she was allergic to, like, she couldn't eat any root vegetables, which meant onions, garlic. Couldn't eat any of that. Which is just, when you think about what everything is cooked in or with, it's onions and garlic. It's used in so much stuff. So I remember we went to Westfields in London and we were looking for a place to eat. And we went around all the restaurants and we just couldn't really find anything. And in the end, we went to Byron Burger and she just got a salad, but she had to sit down with the server and say, I need this taken out. I need this, this, and this. Really difficult. Like, I really feel for people that have allergies like that, and it makes me feel more grateful that, you know, I don't have to worry about it, because definitely some research that is, and maybe this is someone I need to get on the show, in terms of gut health, the relationship between your gut and your brain and your body, we kind of underestimate the power of it. You know, it's the cliche saying you are what you eat, but it couldn't be any more true. So yeah, that was quite something. I'm actually allergic to silver, but I'm okay with garlic, so I'm probably not a vampire. Or just in the process of turning. Just in the process of turning. Lots of food questions today. I like this, and I've eaten quite well today, so I'm not that hungry. I was worried that this was going to start making me hungry. Karen says, "What's your favourite way to eat or make potatoes?" I love mashed potatoes. Potatoes. I love mash. I like sweet potato mash. Sweet potato mash is great. If you're cutting up potatoes and adding like Cajun seasoning, Cajun fries can be really, really great. But yeah, sweet potato mash is great. Although I did one of those things where I had it too often, and then I think it started making me feel a bit gross, so I have to have it a lot less now. But yeah, sweet potato fries. That's it. That is it for me. What about everyone here? Yeah, mash. Everyone's for mash, yeah. How does everyone else like their potatoes? Next. Do you live in London, and do you rent, or did you buy your home? As someone who lives in the Midlands, it seems mega expensive in London. London is ridiculously expensive. I do not live in London. I live in Berkshire, Reading area. I never go more specific than that, as you can probably understand. I own my home. I got very lucky with my circumstances. The average age of a first-time buyer is like 45, or at least that's what the stat was about 10 years ago. But the property that I have, like if I was to use that money and get somewhere in London, I'd get like a one studio room place for the most part. London is absolutely ridiculous. I feel for my friends that live in London that are renting extortionate rates. And I do feel that is one of the democratizing and empowering elements of remote work. And this was something they said because of the pandemic is going to be an interesting trend to see, which is it used to be to get the best paid jobs, you had to move in the city. So although you were better paid, you were also spending more of your income on property to live in or rent off. Whereas now, because of remote work, it meant people could move to the countryside or move out to cheaper areas of the country and still work in those high paid jobs. And so what it might mean is it's not just good for the individual. And when I heard this spoken about, it was in the context of America and a lot of like movements from states to states. But it's not just good for the individual, it's actually good for local economies, because now if you've got like a remote town or village where people are working high paid jobs via the internet, it means that they're getting paid the paycheck and then they're spending it in their local community, which you could argue, well, if everyone's doing remotely, they're probably buying, goods and services elsewhere. It kind of means that the concentration of wealth is now being spread out across wider areas. I know that was a side point to what you're asking, but I do find that interesting as well. So, yeah, I don't live in London. I feel if I ever did, it would have been when I was a student, but I wouldn't really wish it on my worst enemies. Obviously, not everyone has a choice. I'm very lucky. I got very lucky with the place that I bought because it's the smallest place in a street, and it was just before there was a lot of development of things in the area. And so, I got in before the house prices really went high. And I used to live with my brother. So this room I'm in now used to be his bedroom. But when he moved out, I had it as a spare room, but it is a really small bedroom. And I felt like if I was ever going to have a housemate, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that because this room was so small. It worked with my brother because we were brothers, and so sort of sharing a lot of other spaces together. Whereas if I was to have someone move in, I feel like, they need a bit more space. And then I was very fortunate with my line of work and stuff. And then I decided in the end to convert this into into an office foremost, and then a studio as well. And sort of that's how it works for me. So that was kind of a lot of detail there. But yeah. You don't like London? No, I love London. I love London, and I'm very fortunate that I get to go into London when I need to because of Crossrail and stuff. But yeah, when I think of like two elements of like I wouldn't want to wish stuff, like trying to buy a property in London, I think it's hellish. And look, I could be proven wrong. And by the way, I have lots of friends that live in London. I don't say it's bad to. I'm just saying it's a very difficult situation. And the other thing I wouldn't wish on my worst enemies in terms of London is driving through it. And I remember doing it when playing shows and stuff, and it is just an absolute nightmare. But to be honest, public transport's really, really good. Going back to food, pucker pies. Oh, pucker style pie. I mean, pucker pies are really, really good. But yeah. Wow. Oh. Saddlesworth and travelling to Manchester by car is murder now. With low emissions and cameras, bus lanes really easy to be fined. Those bus lanes, I don't know if you have it in the US, but in the UK, in a lot of cities, they have these things where it's like bus lane only, and they tend to do it on turnings where they'll say that it's well signposted. Often it's something that it's very easy to miss, and if you accidentally go down it, you'll then get a fine through the post. And God, when you think you're going to get a fine, it's the worst feeling because you just want to like know if you've got it or not. And if it doesn't turn up, you're like, have I missed it, or is it coming later down the line? So yeah. Right, just going through. I'm in Yorkshire. Sean on my phone says, have family in London. They couldn't buy a 1-bedroom flat for what I paid for a 3-bedroom house. I also think about when I look at friends in Texas, like, and this is the thing in America, there's just a lot more land and space. There just isn't the space in the UK. It's a very densely populated country for the most part. But yeah, cool. Wow, this hour is flying by. I can't believe it. We've covered a lot of areas. I'll go to this one just because it kind of builds on from it. Do you drive, MD? I bet you're a Tesla kind of guy. I mean, Tesla's always interested me, but I am someone who genuinely doesn't give much of a damn about cars. I mean, I appreciate them for what they are, but I'm not someone that's like, I can't talk at ends about models. My best friend, for example, he's very knowledgeable about cars, and I do find it interesting when I talk to him about it. But it's just and you know, different people like different things. For me, I just like a car that gets me from A to B. I drive a very small car. It's cute, it's comfortable, it does the job, and I'm all good for it. But Teslas are cool. And I was hoping when I was getting my new car, I would have got an electric car, but I just wasn't able to get one, based on my situation at the time. You were on a photography shoot in London and was forced into a bus lane by a police car trying to get past. Well, you can appeal that. You should be able to appeal that because they'll have cameras and stuff. So you're £94 for living room, kitchen, large bedroom, large bathroom, flat, and people moving in will pay 110. Sorry, is that £94 a week? Legendary says, "Can I reply to your question?" I already replied to one of yours. I'm getting through them. I've got a massive list here of everyone's questions. Per week. That's pretty good. That's pretty good indeed. Right, let's have a look here. Mojo says, if you could create a VR game, what would you make, and would you add any special details or settings in it? Mojo, I'm actually just going to link you to an episode of Without Parole that we did that I think you'd really, really enjoy, because me and Brian came up with our dream, the perfect VR2 game. And at the end, I think there are timestamps on it, and in the end, we did conclude it. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, prices are shooting up. But yeah, it'd be open world and stuff like that. Right, let's have a look here. I'm going to try and get through these quick now. Since you play a lot of games where shooting is involved, have you ever used one in real life? Yeah. I did CCF when I was at school, so I learned to shoot rifles and like take them apart and clean them, and obviously reload them and stuff. Also, when I was in Texas, it's all these stories are from Texas, right? I was in Texas, and I was my friend's brother-in-law was, I think, a police officer, and he took me to this store where it was like a massive indoor store with like a mountain inside. It was a hunting store, and they had. I bought handgun bullets and paid for them on card. I really want to see if I've got photos here of it, but I've got to find out when it was. So I'm just searching Myles Dyer, Texas guns shoot. Let's do. No, I'm not going to be able to find it. Maybe he took it down. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. But yeah, I shot a revolver. What freaked me out about revolvers, and again, people that know about guns are going to go, well, duh. But I didn't realise that revolvers don't have safeties on them. So putting it on a holster was not something I wanted to do. I was offered to shoot a Desert Eagle, but I wasn't comfortable doing it at the time. I was pretty scared about doing it all. I can't remember what pistol I shot though, and it was just on a massive, like, it felt like a playground. It was just a massive, like, open space, and you're shooting against this massive embankment that had so much probably lead in it. And I was told if I ever came back, he'd take me on the SWAT training stuff. Let's have a look here. Actually, do you know what? I might have to search Blade 376. Blade 376. Because that was my username back then. Yeah, I found it. There we go. I had to search Blade 376. Oh my god. Do you know what? I'm going to download this video, and then we'll just watch it on here. This is from 13 years ago. So what year was that? 2010. Oh my god, this will be a good one to end on. Oh man, Brent, I miss so much. I need to get back in contact with him. It's Brent Coble. Nice, super nice guy. Loved him to pieces. If Karen's still here, she'd remember Brent. 2010. Let me have a look in this folder. Yes, I found a photo from it. Oh my god! And I was telling you about the hot sauce. Is that going to be here? Okay. I think it might be on. No, I haven't got it here. I'll have to dig it out though. But this was actually the store, and that was me holding a 50 cal. I could not believe how heavy that was. And by the way, lots more questions coming in. I am going to run out of time though, so I'm going to try my best to get through them. But yeah, baby me. Yeah, that 50 cal is like, if you don't have, they told me if you don't have that muzzle on the end of it, it would take your arm off because the recoil would be. I don't know if that is right. Yeah, it was so heavy. But this store, it was like that all the way around the edge. By the way, they would have sold me that and let me walk out the store with it. Some of the like assault rifles, it was like $1,000. But yeah, that was in 2010. That was in 2010. But let's have a look here at this video. Let me dig up VT. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to play this video and then cancel. Hello, happy. Sorry about that. It was playing VT from a previous one. Don't get confused. Don't get confused. I'm trying to find it now. Why is it not downloaded it yet? Okay. Can I put myself on camera here? I should be able to. Sorry, everyone. This was the video source. There we go. Hello, everyone. Hi again. Hi. Right, here we go. Hopefully he's not gonna. It's a boom headshot.
Definitely in Texas.
Look, that was the revolver. Oh, I've not watched this in forever. So this was us just.
We're at
hanging
an
out.
undisclosed location in Texas. I was kidnapped. I've been brought here, and I've been told the only way I'm going to be released is if I shoot off some rounds with this. So I've loaded up. This is for my list of things to do.
I can't believe I'm still wearing the ring. Like, I can't believe how long I've had it for.
Is that in? So it's ready to go.
Should be.
I was so nervous, man. So to the left, you see all the blue stuff. It's amazing seeing the younger me. Well, all of it's on YouTube. Like, you can go back and have a look at stuff.
Or anticlimactic.
Wait.
So you having fun right now? Like,
This
just
is
the whole, like,
this is
Texan, I'm
Brent.
shooting guns in the
Well,
middle
this
of
is
nowhere
it. And
experience?
the crazy thing is, like, it's just so surreal. When my credit card gets the bill through in England, it's going to say, like,
You bought ammo.
I bought ammo. So I'll probably have
Gonna raise some serious
probably
red
have-
flags.
I'll probably have the cops knocking at the door going,
Like, oh, yeah, is Miles here? Did you buy, like, a gun? Are you plan on going on a rampage?
oh, God, it's insane.
Probably
really.
not.
But
You
when
can
I
see the
did my bucket
kickback.
list,
But that blue stuff there is like where they do like the door-to-door training and stuff. So he said he'd get me kitted out. But
when I did my bucket list of 20 things, I kept this in mind. I was going to be in Texas, and thanks. This is amazing coming here.
Yeah, pretty much the first thing Miles said whenever he showed up, he was like, I want to eat really good food. We've got to find a firing range.
Because
so I can go shoot guns.
on my bucket list, I originally was going to do a day of cowboy stuff.
A day of cowboy
just
stuff.
ride a horse and try lassoing, and
Well, this will work well enough.
but this
We don't have horses or any of that.
we can't shoot horses.
No, we just don't have them.
Oh,
If we did, I'd
We-
still feel like I wouldn't support shooting a horse.
oh wow.
Well, that's happening.
oh yeah, that's me. Is it? Yeah.
Damn. Dude, I felt that my dick. Yeah.
That's it.
Say bye-bye.
How'd I do? Not good? Drew, what do you think about guns?
I like them.
I like them.
They're nice.
They're fun.
That's the video. Anyway, yeah, I shot 3 in a row. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, something else I've mentioned before is I can't close one eye. I need to learn that, especially in VR stuff. That'd be really, really helpful. But anyway, right, I'm going to go through the rest of these questions as quick as I can. This is what I love about this. As soon as we start warming up with questions, and also I think this is the first time we've done this Q&A thing where I've said, you know, we don't do housekeeping and that stuff. We just go, right, let's go, questions. I think this is a much better way of doing it because we don't know where it's going to go, the conversation. This is really, really cool. Right, going through these. Have your hobbies and pastimes changed? Oh, have your hobbies and pastimes changed much over the years? Over the last 10 years, probably not so much, but like throughout my life, I mean, I did a lot. I used to be into sailing when I was younger and karate. I used to love playing tennis and basketball. But yeah, I think my hobbies, I think I used to love watching movies. I don't really watch movies or TV shows anymore, just because I've sort of lent more into gaming. So I'd say that. What do you think about the rebranding of Twitter to just an X? All I'm going to say is, it's like, well, as people said online, it's like if Coca-Cola decided to change its name to L. I think it's completely ridiculous. The only theory I can have behind it is if Elon Musk thinks Twitter is going to like go under, and he'd rather the press said X failed as opposed to I destroyed Twitter. But yeah, I think it looks trash. I mean, Twitter is one of the most amazing brands tweeting. It's just used by everyone. It's such a part of culture. And I do think this is the beginning of the end for Twitter being like the leading or the central place for conversation online. But I'm not saying that any others are going to become superior. I think there's going to be this flattening of like all the different platforms. I think that just there's going to be not one place to do it. But I could be wrong. And I do hope that Twitter does survive. Legendary 3D Gamer, this was your second question. Am I the only one that, if I could, would Netflix and chill, or just watch something while having gravy on its own or custard on its own? I mean, great. I mean, great. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have gravy on its own. I mean, I know gravy's different in America, isn't it, as well? Like, they have, like, white gravy or stuff. Custard's cool, though. But then why not have it with something? I mean, for me, when it comes to desserts, we've spoken about this before, it's the hot and cold, like brownie, warm chocolate brownie, or warm chocolate fudge cake with ice cream, or cream, or, you know. And on the flip side, hot custard with, like, apple crumble. Oh, so good, so good. I don't know. What does everyone else think? It was a very specific question. It was, but we have some of the big questions about life, about the world, and we have big questions about life, about eating gravy on its own while watching Netflix. I'm here for it all. Oh, sorry, this was the question we've already done. Yep. That I definitely answered your question, Kira. Mojo, if you could gunge any celebrity, who would it be? Oh my goodness. It's amazing that like the questions that have the least consequence to it can be some of the hardest. Yeah, good luck with the timestamps, whoever does it. Lots of it. Yeah, no vitamin G this week. I mean, people are welcome to share what they're grateful for. I'm grateful for you. The last Wednesday of every month, we kind of just throw all the stuff out there. But vitamin G will return next week, and I'm grateful for sleeping well with my groove pillow. We can. My kid was just asking when the Cybertruck was coming out, and I told him I don't think that will ever be released. Just another in a land of concept cars that never make it to production. Yeah, but I am someone who is like, like Google Glass. There's people that go, "Oh, they're lame. It was an absolute failure." And for me, it's like, it's not. It's an opportunity to learn. I'm not someone who gets glib about failure. The thing I will say about Elon Musk, though, and Twitter and X is it does make me concerned that if that's how he runs a platform into the ground, it makes me think, is he really the one that I want sending human beings to start life on Mars? I know it's more than just him, but the way that you manage and operate does say something. And to be honest, I do think he was good at what he did with SpaceX and that. But I do think that Twitter and the nature of it as a social media platform, I think it just becomes a complete cancer on the brain for all of us. We know what social media does to you. And I just feel like whether it's his ego or narcissism, I just think that the fact that he's now just on Twitter. I mean, I heard it described earlier on a radio show really well, which was they were talking about something else, but I think it applies here. It's like if I was walking about, I'm trying to think of an example. If I was walking about and I saw like how park benches are, and I'm like, I don't like how park benches are, I would design them so that they're like all individual and they have like cushion for heads and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a nice idea, probably not practical. It's not going to last well in the weather. But it was just an idea. I have no way of making it happen, you know? To make it happen, I'd have to pitch the idea and consensus would have to come around it and it would have to be signed off and then work that way. But if I was a billionaire and I thought that, I could just go and do it and just make loads of chairs like that, whether it was a good idea or not. Do you know what I mean? And I think that says a lot about our society. Elon Musk had no experience running a social media platform, but because he had 45 billion, and he kind of got forced into it. He didn't do his due diligence first. He then had legal action threatened, so he had to go do it. And now he's stuck with it, and it's just, I think it's a complete dumpster fire. By the way, I have paid for Twitter Blue the last 2 months, though, just because I wanted to try out all the features, high-quality video and stuff. I can't see myself using it for a lot longer. That's and that is something else he's done. He's been deleting accounts when he wants them. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, listen, everyone. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for hanging out today. This has been fun, hasn't it? Nice and chill. I've had a good time. Have you had a good time? I hope you've had a good time. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to be notified about all future Myles Dyer lives every Wednesday, and also at the weekends I do Let's Plays. Last weekend I did 3, and I have to say, doing the air guitar one I loved, even though it looked really dodgy on camera. I had a really good time with that. But the first one I did, and I wasn't feeling great, was Cave Digger, and the sound, it was messed up at the beginning, and then it crashed 20 minutes in, and in that moment I was like, I might just not do any live streams this weekend. But then I did Tentacular, which was good fun. Devs hung out there as well, was really grateful. Then I did the air guitar one, and I had a really good time with that. And then I did Cave Digger again, 11 till 1 in the morning. But then Sunday I decided, you know what, I'm just not going to do any. I just did 3 that weekend, and that was fine. And some weekends, just doing 3 is fine. And I had a lot of pressure on me because I mentioned it last week that I am on track to beating a record for my YouTube channel. Not of all time, but I'm just going to bring up the stats now. I think if it's updated, we are so close now. We are literally like 900 views. We're like 900 views away from beating March. And the only reason March is that high and February is that high was because that was when PSVR 2 came out. And that was on like February 20th or something, or 21st. So it was the end of February. Massive viewership. And then that went into March. And so I'm building up. It's building up month after month. So with exception to February, which is the outlier, if I get another 800 views by the end of the month, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 5 days, and there's going to be Let's Plays at the weekend. It's going to happen. We will have beaten the last time I've had the most views ever, which was 10,326 on May 2020. So the most views since May 2020. So, you know, this is a steady build with this channel. And also, I only do live streaming. I don't do regular videos. And so for viewership, it's not going to be in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands like a lot of channels. But you know what? It might get to that point at some point. I just got to stick the course. Yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that's joined me on the ride, because I really enjoyed doing this. We've got a new game coming out in a couple of days. I think we had a Human Anatomy VR come out yesterday for PSVR 2. So it's an educational, it's not a game, it's a title, but it's where you can just look at the human body and pull it apart and stuff to learn about it. I've spoken to them about it. If I manage to get a copy in time, because it's quite an expensive educational piece, then I might do it the weekend. But if not, then it might be something I just buy for a future one, because there are a lot of other games I've got that I could be playing. But the Room VR is out this week, I think. And so yeah, playing that at the weekend would be good. So yeah, Human Anatomy VR. It's cool. It's just like you got a human body, and then you can like take parts of the brain out, and you know, it's like a model. So it's really good for educational purposes. But yeah, so I have kind of decided also the 3 games I was going to play last Sunday I'll probably do this weekend. But yeah, I haven't booked it all in yet, so I'll worry about that on Friday, because tomorrow's going to be a busy day. But I think the way I'm going to sort of approach it now is like Saturday will definitely be happening. Sunday, I'll see how I feel. But when it works, it's a really good time, and I thank everyone for tuning into those live streams, because I am currently, I say, on a quest, and I had a comment from, I don't want to pinpoint it on anyone wrongfully, but someone, I think someone here had mentioned about not using the word quest. I'm not on a quest to play every PSVR 2 game, because I'm not playing on a quest. I'm playing on PSVR 2. So on a journey, on a mission, I could probably do that. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, everyone. I love you all. Tune into PSVR Without Parole on Friday, where I'm going to be joining Brian Poole. Always have a good time on those shows. And then lots of Let's Plays at the weekend. But until then, I'm going to grab my groove pillow. Sleep well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Yeah, serial killer, it was you. It was a great comment. I am going to respond to it. But yeah, I had seen it. So on that note, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
Just a reminder, what we will do is join our Discord. It's in the link below, and then you can join. And if you go to voice chat straight after this, I will stick around for a game of Discord Golf. Everyone can play. So, yeah, head on over now, and we'll have a little tournament together. It's just a silly bit of fun. And there are some other games we could play as well. So check that out. Head over to the Discord, and I will see you there in like 30 seconds. Bye-bye.